CNN is having mass layoffs after the viewers plummet. That's the truth. CNN got layoffs out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? It's tough in the street. So let me just get y'all. Let's stay on this for about 10 so minutes or whatever. Um. So the CNN boss Mark Thompson is doing mass layoffs now. They saying that the ratings challenge CNN is reportedly set for a major bloodbath with boss Mark Thompson expected to lay off high-priced on-air talent as a part of the wide-ranging layoffs. The cable network, which lagged behind rivals MSNBC, who also had a 50% drop in ratings, and Fox News, who actually killed all of them, during last week's election night coverage, will implement layoffs that impact hundreds of employees across the organization. Thomas took over the last year after the ouster. Yeah. He said the talents won't be necessarily needed in this new digital first landscape. And that's where I want to come back to in a second. Network's force is reported to be coping with an atmosphere of high stress and anxiety. Thompson, the former CEO of the New York Times and the BBC, may also demand deep cuts to the massive salaries raked in by a struggling primetime stable of anchors, including Anderson Cooper, who makes $20 million, an annual year salary of $20 million. Burnett makes $6 million. Collins makes budget friendly $3 million. People have already left. Signs of change were apparent on Monday after Chris Wallace confirmed that he was leaving CNN, ending a 3-year stint at the network that was marred by no ratings and turmoil in its corporate board. Last month, the independent newsletter The Anchor reported that Thompson would ask Wallace, who was earning a reported salary of 8.5 million annually, as well as other top stars at the network. So, long story short, CNN is going through a reorganization where they're basically firing or downsizing or laying off people, as well as requiring their on air talent to do more work that normally producers would be allocated for, and things like that. So, my question then becomes, is traditional media officially dead, and have content creators taken over the space of what we would call media, or where people get their news from?
Somewhat.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at Quentin. There you go. There you go. That's
I
my
don't.
cute. That's cute Diddy.
I'll just say my little bit and get out the way. I don't think it's true. It's like somewhat because Fox News ain't laying people off. I think it's CNN's message is why fools ain't watching them. They rather watch other people's shit, and we don't want to. We don't that people don't want to hear what they got to say on CNN.
Mm.
This ain't if it was mass media, the same shit would be happening at Fox. Do you agree? It'll be happening across the board, not just at these freaking liberal stations. It's not happening at Fox News. It's not happening at News Network, and it ain't happening nowhere else. It's because their message, and people don't want to hear that shit. But also, then
Um,
content creators are pretty big too. I saw some numbers where there was people watching more content creators than CNN for the election. So I'll
I
let someone
think
else
that
argue that.
alternative media. I think that media is going the same way as record companies. Um, Even the only way that these media is going to, okay, the larger platforms, what CNN is going to have to do is the same thing that an ESPN is trying to do right now. Is that, first of all, the viewers are losing money, and so they're trying to take the same approach. I think that you're going to see these traditional media platforms take the same approach as the record labels, in that they're looking for self-sustained talent. So whereas you would have to go in, and then you would go into the studio and they would produce you and all of this other type of stuff, and they would have all of this stuff. Now I believe that the media companies are looking for already self-made talent. So whereas a Pat McAfee was able to go into ESPN, he's basically self-sustained. They doing their own studio. They still got their own thing. You know, they not building sets for him. He kind of got his own thing. He still stream on YouTube, and he's also just got a partnership, basically a distribution deal with ESPN. I think that that's the way that media is going. You're gonna have to be self sustained, already well polished, produce your own content type of person in order for that's what they're gonna be looking for.
It's also come increasingly difficult to watch CNN. Like you gotta have cable. Like motherfucker, nobody pays for cable anymore. You know what I mean?
That's true.
We got fight. You gotta, and if you want to watch CNN outside of cable, you got to pay a separate fee just to watch CNN. Ain't nobody paying no monthly to watch CNN. So it's
Yeah, they trying to figure out how to package it and streaming networks and all of that stuff. I think that the advertisers are smartening up and they're starting to go over to. They'll rather give the bag to an independent content creator that can actually resonate with their audience than some fucking random Nielsen ratings that ain't even hitting the numbers that they wanted to hit, while at the same time not really tapping into the target demographic of where they trying to get their products to go. I
the
don't think
way
I don't,
they. Sorry,
no, you cool. I don't think that the money is gone. I think that it's more money than ever. I just think that it's going to go to different places than traditional media.
I don't believe in the Nielsen way. I think they're the most flawed thing ever in life.
Why?
Because once upon a time, I was a part of it, and they put this big ass box. They hooked it up to my computer. They hooked it up to my all my TVs, all my cable stuff, and they said you represent this many people. I was like, that's how y'all do this shit. They took my age, my location, and all this different stuff about me, and was like, you represent this many people. And I'm like, that
Well,
don't make no sense.
conversely, I've been talking to advertisers and I've been securing my own deals that's going to be starting next year. And they go directly to me and they say, "Hey, um, you know, we see you've been doing big and you got these numbers or whatever. Give us your stats." And I could just lay it straight out from there. Okay, well, from the ages of 18 to 34, this is how many people that I resonate with. This is how long my watch hours are. This is how long people sustain on my streams. This is how many views that we did. But more importantly, this is how we tapped into this dark demographic. This is how we growing with women. And have those conversations straight up, directly. And so now it's like they like, okay, well, shoot, we rather get you the bag because we realize, you have the ability to tap in and you can sustain and you're growing and you have a growing Patreon and all of this stuff. So, you know, traditional advertise, and I'm talking about big companies, traditional advertisers. I just think if you are a content creator and you know what you're doing, it's going to be bags to be had. It's going to be bags to be had. But you got to
Mm.
learn the game. I'm a businessman. And so I understood the business side of it before I understood the content creation side of it. Once I figured out the content creation side, it's too much money to be had. I do think that MSNBC, the Joy Reids is going away. I do think that you're right, 100%, Quentin. Um, because people is tired of racist Joy Reid. They tired of them going after Trump for the last 4 to 8 to 4 years. And I think that that's also being reflected in what you see. And
And it's just
let me
like
let me
it's.
let me
I
let me
think the
just say this one
American
other part.
people.
Let me say this one last part. The numbers be being juiced on MSNBC and CNN and shit. Because when you see, like for example, if I see a Joy Reid drop a clip, and let's say it's a 15-minute clip and she's railing against Trump, they're promoting that. So they're running ads for that clip to run up the numbers to make it seem like they're doing more than what they're really doing. In reality, people are not organically clicking on that shit.
Yeah. And then that should only be having like 30 comments.
Yeah, and that's how you
30
know.
comments
That's how you know because if you get a million views and you got 40 comments, that shit don't add up.
at all.
It's the people that are against Trump is what's doing. Like these bitches are haughty as fuck. You know what I mean? Like they have like utter disdain for this man, and the way that it comes off on the screen is just not. It's not. I'm not. I've never said this in my life, but it fits. It's not giving.
Oh my God. No, you didn't just say that. The
Now
Quinn
now
just
you
say it's
just
not
cool
giving.
you just coolied yourself. You just coolied yourself.
Oh man.
Quentin, like what is given?
The Quinn just say it's not giving.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
no, man.
It's just like it just seems like they just like all the women just seem like mean girls. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't. It's weird. It's weird.
They are. They
You
are.
know what's more weird is Clinton now defending Trump after he was just.
I wasn't defending. Like I'm impartial. Like I know what he is, and I'm good with it. Like I didn't. There's nothing wrong with it.
I
I
don't
just
think
said I just said he did that shit and whatever. I didn't say it was right or wrong. I just said he did that shit.
what's his name? Anderson Cooper. I don't think Anderson Cooper needs $30 million to be on. Like he's a good anchor, but $30 million, I'm pretty sure you can find fresh new talent with and slice that up a couple of different ways. 500K
You
here, blah 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 blah. $30 million for Anderson
if
Cooper.
people if people are gonna rock
gotta
with you,
remember,
they're gonna follow you wherever you go. That's like one thing that what's his name? Andrew Tate said. He said, I don't need the algorithm for y'all to find me. And they were like, niggas love me. Y'all gonna find me regardless. Fuck this algorithm. And that's gonna be the same stuff for these CNN. If people fuck with you wherever you go, they gonna find you. If you go
Yeah,
to
but I don't think that
Twitter,
these people actually have as big of a following as you think that they do.
well, that's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody gonna follow their ass. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
they have
thing.
visibility because they're on mainstream television or a trusted name, but they don't really be having a following. Like they'll get people that will go like them because the name is notable. Like he's a Vanderbilt, so everybody know who Anderson Cooper is. But I've never heard nobody say from my generation or younger talking about, oh yeah, 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 I listened to Anderson Cooper yesterday.
I've never heard anybody say that they was watching Tapping In with Anderson Cooper. But the thing is, though, the thing is, he gonna get 20 million, just like Stephen A. Smith gonna get 30 million or whatever. They figureheads and they figureheads for certain talking points. They gonna do what they told.
I don't think so, Slimmy.
I don't think so either.
I
Nobody's
definitely think
fucking with
so.
him like
I think that
I
those
know for
days is
sure.
over.
I know for sure with Stephen A. Smith. I know for sure.
we're talking about Anderson Cooper.
You say what?
We're talking about Anderson Cooper though. We're not talking about Stephen A. Smith.
No, I'm just saying though. They're like they're like a voice that just gets they get. I think they get controlled. I think they get controlled. That's just my point. That's just my point of view. They're gonna do what they told.
I wouldn't give Stephen A. Smith no crazy bag like that.
He's getting it from
Oh,
ESPN, and now
whoa,
he about to get it
you
from
saying they
Fox
shouldn't get
now.
you saying they
Who?
shouldn't get the money.
He in the political world now. I think he got something like I read something about he about to get something back from some news network
I
outside of
seen Charles
ESPN.
Barkley pivot, and he did a show with Gail where they was talking about popular content and shit like that, and that shit flopped like a motherfucker.
Oh,
Fucking
King Charles.
Yeah, King Charles, that shit was trash, bro.
fucking flopped.
Yeah,
That's
that
Yeah,
that
crazy.
was
so I
something.
mean, I listen. I think that I just think that you gonna have to really have a following and just a popularity alone. During the election showed us that celebrities just being a celebrity is not enough anymore. I see celebrities on a regular basis um try to start podcasts and shit like that, and people not rolling.
I think they're so out of touch with reality. Like I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, and I don't know if you read it. That dude who faked his death and he like took out a $375 life insurance policy.
We gonna go to that next. We going to that
Okay,
next. We going.
my bad.
We actually gonna go to that next. So I don't want you to talk about it ahead of time. We gonna hold off on that. We gonna go to that next. Carrie, Mika, anything else y'all want to add into this?
No, I just
Mm-mm.
I'm just like these people need to go, especially Joy Reid. I mean, she's good for content. Don't get me wrong, but Joy Reid is annoying. Oh,
Man, no
Anton,
post.
why?
I
Real
never got
quick.
to give pushback on Carrie's point because I was stuffing my face about RFK.
Would you like to give
Is
pushback
there
on Carrie's
pushback?
point?
Is there
I
pushback
don't
that you like?
I don't think anything's going to change. I think it's too much money in the food industry for any of that to change.
That might be true.
I
And
don't
they ain't
think
gonna
I
let it
don't think that that's
happen.
true.
I don't think
That's
they're gonna let it
not.
happen. Like they're like there's people lining Susan G. Komen, the cancer person. There's people lining her pockets that she take money from, and their products are carcinogens, and it's all
But
about the
that's why
dollar.
that's the whole idea
That's a
behind
part
draining the
of why
swamp.
he right. That's a part of why he wants to get into that spot.
Yeah, but
Like
you got ain't
I don't want to be
nobody
the
taking all this
pessimistic, but
industry shit.
I'm not just gonna like arbitrarily think this dude is holier than thou, and he cares about money, and he don't care about money like everybody else.
Why
Like there's like
say that
money is
again?
the rule of like money is the top of all this political everything, right, wrong, or indifferent. If our lives, it's all about money, and it just like
He's a
there's so
kid.
much money that
He's a
people are gonna.
Kennedy.
There's so much
He's a
money that's gonna be lost if we're healthier. I'm just saying.
No,
The doctors are gonna lose money. The food people are like everyone's gonna lose money
yeah, but
if
all of
Americans are
them
people
healthier.
right,
money.
but
Go ahead, Mika.
no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say money is gonna be lost for some, but that so what? Like why
Because they go ahead.
the people who will lose the most are the culprits. So I think they know that. I think that RFK, I think that Trump, I think that the administration, I think that they understand that. So what difference does that make if pharmaceutical companies lose money, if lobbyists lose money, if offices lose money? Like so what?
Nah,
I think that the
that ain't gonna happen.
majority of the
That's
I
not my
think that
point. I'm saying it's not gonna happen because they're not gonna lose money.
I
Well,
believe
It
no,
that
ain't
the
gonna work.
majority
it sounded like you were saying it won't happen because there will be such a loss of money.
Yeah, that's
And what
exactly
I'm
what I'm
asking
saying.
you
That's
is
what he's saying.
okay,
That's
There's
what he's
people
saying.
on the Senate in the House and was like, "Nah, nigga, we ain't doing that."
I believe that one of the reasons why they were trying to assassinate him, Trump, is because of what he's about to do to all of these establishments that's been around for too long that's
Mm-hmm.
not benefiting the American people. And one example of that is that Kamala Harris did not raise $1 billion from individual donors.
Nope.
That came from huge donors and corporations that did not want to see Trump get into office. Trump only spent a little over $300 million on his campaign. He spent a fraction of what she spent on her campaign. You can't tell me that big donors actually support Kamala Harris, the campaign that was saying, "Oh, we gonna tax the rich more," when in reality they were paying in order to keep these systems established that allow for them to continue to be profitable. The reason that they were against him, in my opinion, and the reason that they were trying to assassinate him, and the reason why all of these people, the Mark Cubans, all of these billionaires continue to be on the Democratic side is because they don't want them meddling in the business. They don't want him auditing the federal government. They don't want RFK Jr. to be tearing down the FDA. They don't want Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk to be deep diving into what's going on in every branch of the federal government. I believe that the goal was to get him the fuck out of there. Listen, they tried everything. They tried to remove him from the ballot. They tried to throw a bunch of shit on his name. They tried to convict him in the court. They tried to paint his reputation backwards. They tried to do everything that they fucking could. And I don't I, honestly, I just think it was meant for him to be there.